We are back on the record. I'm ready in the matters of Edwina Sykes. I have case number U 26263-215 and case number U 995-78313. Mr. Ficus, you've already placed your appearance on the record. Ms. Sykes, state your name, please.
Edwina Sykes.
All right, Ms. Sykes, you're in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Mr. Griffin is serving as case manager. Mr. Griffin, update me. Tell me what's going on, and then I'll hear from you, Mr. Ficus, before I hear from Ms. Sykes. Uh-oh, you're muted, Mr. Griffin.
Your Honor, Ms. Sykes absconded from probation supervision on September 21st, 2020. Warrant was signed by Your Honor. She left her treatment facility where she was, so she had been on warrant status for a couple of months. I don't have an exact date when she went back into positive images, but I know she's been over there for a little bit over 29 days. I did talk to her counselor, Miss Jones. We were discussing she was going to get a 9-day extension. So she's been over there. She's been doing pretty good over there. So I had conversation with Miss Sykes. Also, she's got an approved bed to go into positive images transitional housing once she is done with the outpatient treatment part of it. I don't know if it's Miss Jones available, Miss Sykes.
Let me go find her. Listen. Terry. The judge wants you. She coming. She going to group.
Okay. It's 10 o'clock. She was supposed to be on at 9.
Here she comes.
Okay. Be briefly.
Hello.
Good morning, Ms. Jones. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you state your name for the record?
Terry Jones.
All right, Ms. Jones, and tell us your role at Positive Images.
Well, I'm the therapist and I'm also the clinical supervisor in the inpatient program.
All right, thank you. We just want a quick update on how Ms. Sykes is doing, and if you have any recommendations for the court as to things you need Ms. Sykes to do, we want to make sure we're working in partnership with you for her to be successful at Positive Images.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, she's doing well. She's participating. She's expressing a desire to discontinue using. She does struggle a little bit with her insight and decision making. I did uh, apply for 9 extra days. I personally feel that 90 days would be well for everybody because we can't stop doing what we've been doing for years in 29 days. So I was able to get her a little bit more time, but I am pleased with a lot of statements that she's making, which is all that I can go by. Um, in terms of her realizing and understanding her malingering, um, you know, her malingering attitude or behavior, trying to, sort of manipulate the situation. But she does verbalize an understanding and she says, hey, I know I'm doing it, which is the first step. And again, she can't change those behaviors in just a couple of weeks. So I'm pretty pleased with how she's doing. I do expect a little bit more out of her. And she will be transferring over into our transitional housing and she'll be getting intensive outpatient with therapy and she'll be on our, sober premises. So that's a good choice on her part as well.
All right, and so Mr. Griffin, we need to make sure we get an understanding of what transitional looks like so we can make sure testing is in place that satisfies the standards of drug treatment court. And then, have a plan for Ms. Sykes.
Okay.
Is she gonna work? Is she gonna do Social Security? I don't know, but we need to have a plan for her because she can't live in transitional forever. Is that
Right.
correct?
Well, she can be there for 4 months, at which time she can work on getting her life together. And again, it's a building with, she'll have her own apartment. She won't start there. She'll start in New Beginnings, which is a room apartment for 3 ladies at one time. We do have cameras in the building. We do drug taste test them weekly. She'll be participating in groups, NA groups, and so she'll be getting a lot of treatment in place over there for the next 4 months.
All right, but will she have unsupervised time?
Yes,
All right, will she be able to come and go as she pleases?
there are curfews in place. There is a curfew in place, and she is supervised to a certain extent.
Okay,
So,
so Mr. Griffin, we have to make sure our testing standards are in place
okay,
once she goes to transitional. Still, she should be
okay.
testing with you all weekly, but there will be some additional testing that she has to do with us.
For the
Okay.
first 2 weeks, she will be in quarantine when she goes over. After, I should have the date in my head, but I think it will be right before New Year's, the 27th,
Okay, so she'll go to transitional for on the 27th. Okay,
or is it
December.
the 28th? Right after that, and then 2 weeks she'll be in quarantine. I mean, not quarantine, but she won't be able to leave the building for two weeks.
Okay, very good. All right. Anything else we need to know, Ms. Jones, or anything you need us to help you with?
No, she's doing a good job so far.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for stepping away to just update us. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Did you have any questions for us?
Uh, no, I don't. I think I've been in contact with her probation officer and am up to date on everything. So
Okay, wonderful.
thank
All right.
you.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you. Be safe. We'll speak back with Ms. Sykes.
Okay. You have a wonderful holiday.
You do the same. Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right, Ms. Sykes. So, Mr. Fike, I mean, Mr. Griffin, was there anything else you wanted to say?
No, I just like to tell Miss Sykes that I'm glad that she did come back. That's one thing. I'm glad that she did recognize that, that she did come back. So I just like to give her applause for that. And I hope that she just willing to work, and let's finish this and get her on the path. I think while she was gone, I think she probably learned a couple of things about family and different things. So, and I think that was a thing before when she's at Abundant, is that, just trying to teach her how to be independent and not let others take advantage of her. So, and I think Miss Jones just hit it, her decision making. That's a part of, one of the biggest things, her decision making. So hopefully, we can get that together. So.
All right, very good. Who went in the breakout room with Ms. Sykes? Was it you, Mr. Vikings? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You're not muted, but
Yeah.
We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
now we can. Yes.
Okay. I'll get a little closer.
Yes.
Yeah. If it's my turn to go, Judge,
Yes.
thank you. First of all, we went to the breakout room, and I thank you, Judge, for the opportunity to meet with my client. She certainly takes responsibility for leaving. I think she had time to think about this, and I was encouraged, as everyone else has said, that she got herself back into treatment. I think she made some tough decisions, and as we talked about mostly is, why didn't you call us? Why didn't you come in? We're here all the time. And she felt bad. She was afraid of something bad that might happen, and I think that goes to her decision-making abilities. And while I can understand that, I was happy to see her. I happy to see her back, happy to see her healthy. She said she wasn't out on the streets. And I said that could well be, but we don't know. That's the trouble when you leave, when you're not honest with where you're, honest with yourself mostly. We don't know what's happening to you. And I think she understands that. I hope she does, Judge. I'd certainly recommend that she continue with the treatment. I'm encouraged to hear everything that Ms. Jones was saying, and get her, 4 months of transitional help. That's going to be great after her time there expires. And I'd certainly recommend that. And maybe, there should be a sanction involved. I don't know what else it should be. I'd rather have treatment than jail time, so I'm not recommending any jail time. And I'll leave it at that, Judge.
All
She
right.
is sorry about what she did. I think she knows better. I think mirror the remarks of Mr. Griffin, who said that, maybe she's learned something about family, learned something about herself, and we hope the best for her in the future.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Fikes. Mr. Griffin, did you have a recommendation with respect, because she has engaged in sanctional behavior? Did you have a recommendation?
Your Honor, of course, like Mr. Ficken said, I'm glad she's back in treatment, so that's where she needs to be. But I would probably like to put some gel in abeyance, just to let Miss Sykes, like I talked with Miss Sykes, she understands jail is not going to do it. She has to want to, to do this program. She's been in jail, so that's one thing. Miss Sykes, she's been around, and so maybe as a team we can come up with something creative, something different for Miss Sykes. So I would like to staff it and talk about it. Maybe we can come up with something a little more creative. So at this time, I just don't have anything. Like I said, I wouldn't mind putting some gel in advance and still coming up with something else creative for Miss Sykes.
We have no objection to that, Judge.
All right, very good. And both of you are correct. I don't believe that being in jail at this time is going to be beneficial to Ms. Sykes. Being in treatment and transitioning into a life of recovery is going to be the best thing for Ms. Sykes. However, I do have to address her behavior, and I will. And Mr. Griffin, if I heard you correctly, you'd like to staff it and go to the team, and then let's talk about it. And then the next time we see Ms. Sykes, I'll do the sanction. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's do that. Make sure that it goes in DCCMIS so that we don't forget. We have to address the behavior.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Sykes, I'm glad to see you back. Are you ready to really work your recovery this time?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Ms. Sykes, I understand that you can't change what you've been doing for years in 60 days, 90 days even. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes commitment. It takes sacrifice. But I need you to stay still and let's do those things, okay?
Yes.
All right, where you going all dressed up today? Where you going?
To see you.
To see me?
I have to wear your favorite colors.
And the way I see you, Miss Sykes, over there with that red on. I see you. Miss Sykes.
Remember every time I used to come to court, I wore red because I heard that was your favorite color.
It is my favorite color. It is. And you look so nice in it. Miss Sykes, I need you to look at you and like what you see so that you can treat you better.
I'm working on that. The classes that I've been taking here, and even the stuff that I study outside of the class as it relates to how I feel about myself or my low self-esteem is getting better. My integrity, I'm working on that. I'm working on a lot of stuff, but it's hard. I can't say it's easy for me because it's not. When I left Abundant, I didn't dance my way out of there. I was actually embarrassed and I couldn't stay because of a decision that I made there. I didn't leave there and hit the street to go get high. I left there to not get high because the drugs was in there and I couldn't take that. I
But
didn't
Miss
want to
Sykes,
tell.
hold on. Miss Sykes, who did you report that to? Because this is my first time hearing that. Who did you report that to? I know you didn't tell Mr. Griffin.
Tell. No, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
How was that
wanted
hurt?
to tell.
Hold on, Miss Sykes. First of all, you have been entrusted to our care. And if we send you to a facility, I ask all the time, don't I, Mr. Griffin, how are they treating you? If you don't tell me what's going on, I don't know because I'm not at the facility. So I count on you all to tell me. How are you hurting our feelings? You're not hurting our feelings by not sharing what's going on. What you're doing is saving a life. And so, no, that's not why you left, to not hurt Mr. Griffin's feelings. Because guess what? Mr. Griffin get paid to get his feelings hurt. I don't really care about Mr. Griffin getting his feelings hurt, Mr. Fikes, Mr. Reed, Mr. Yancey, or myself. We get paid to get our feelings hurt. And we often get our feelings hurt. But you know what we do? We regroup, we dust the dirt off, we roll up our sleeves, and we fight. So no, ma'am, you're never to be in a facility. where there's something going on and you not say anything, because then you don't give us the ability to help you or to help somebody else who may be, if there's drugs in a facility, who may be, on the brink of losing their lives. And that's not fair. And that's selfish. No, you don't do that. You tell us what's going on. You tell us what's going on.
Well, after I contacted Mr. Griffin and I knew I was coming back to treatment, when I got here, I called Tanya and I told her what was really going on in there. Tanya didn't know either. And I guess they kind of suspected it from the lady that had it, but I just didn't want to. I mean, I just didn't want to just snitch her out and she go to jail when I knew my time I thought was about up anyway, and it
Doesn't
scared
matter.
me.
But in recovery, Miss Sykes, you have to think globally. It's not just you. There are other people that are at that facility. And then you left and you ended up using.
No, I used before I left. That's why I left.
Okay.
When I left, I went to my son's house. I didn't get high after I left. I was scared I was going to be a fiend again. So I'm I just didn't want to be that. So I was over there, and then my kids kept telling me to go back, go back, go back. And then when I found out that you wanted me to come back, that's when I got scared. Like, oh my God, I'm about to go back to jail. And I could have went to jail, but I'm thinking, but y'all didn't even know what I did because I didn't tell Mr. Griffin. I said, well,
But
I'm gonna
Miss
have to
Sykes, here's
tell.
the thing. Here's the thing. You did what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
you've had too much contact with us. You've been with us for too long to know that the door is always open. Mr.
I
Griffin
know.
is accessible to you. If Mr. Griffin is not accessible, you can reach any case manager, the coordinator, up to the probation director, and all of them know how to get in touch with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so you just did what you wanted to do. Look, this is where we are. We can't go back and undo what has happened. I'm glad you're alive, because what you need to realize, Miss Sykes, is that how old are you, Miss Sykes?
I'm 49, and
At
8 of my
40,
friends died while I was gone.
Miss Sykes, you're 49 years old. Let me tell you, your 49-year-old self can't do what your 29-year-old and your 39-year-old self did.
I
I know you
see.
think you can, but you can't. And that includes the use of drugs.
That's
Okay?
right.
Your
Yeah,
49-year-old heart, your 49-year-old kidneys and lungs and liver and spleen and everything else can't do what it did even a year ago. So what
I
you
know.
need to understand is that you're making the decision to go back out there could really land you in a bad place. You say 3 of your friends died, you
I
won't
said
even be here.
8.
8 of your
8 of them
friends,
died.
you
Yeah,
won't even be here to count. You know why? Because you'll be a part of the body count. We don't need to
right.
do that, Miss Sykes.
Yeah, my kid's father, his girlfriend, my 2 of my neighbors. It's like everybody just all of this within the last 6 weeks, the last 8 weeks. All of this happened since
And
I've
guess
been
who's
here.
still here? You are. So since you're here, Miss Sykes, let's work the program. Let's
Yeah,
work
I
on
got
Miss
to.
Sykes. Let's work on Miss Sykes. So I'm glad to see you. Look, is Miss Sykes on a tether?
No, Your Honor, she's not.
Okay. And I decided I wasn't putting her on one because a tether does not keep you sober. A tether will not make you work this program. A tether is just going to locate you. That's it. And if you're not ready, you're not ready wherever you are, here or in Timbuktu. So I'm not putting a tether on her today. Miss Sykes, you're gonna have to work this program because you want to work it. That's the bottom line. You,
I
not
am gonna
because
do
I
it.
want you to work it, not because everybody else wants you to work it, but because you want to recover.
I do.
All right, let's do it then. Because I know you can. You were doing
Yeah, I
so
am.
well. You were
I'm
doing so
still
well.
gonna do well. I'm still going back to school. I didn't change my thoughts. My behavior may have changed, but I still want to do everything I said. And there was another thing. I I let myself down so much that I was feeling this big. And then y'all are so positive, and how could I say to y'all, but guess what I did? I couldn't say that to
Just
you.
like
I
that.
couldn't tell
Miss
him that.
Sykes, Miss
Yeah.
Sykes, just like that. Judge, Mr. Griffin, Mr. Ficus, Mr. Reed, guess what I did? I used. Let me tell you something. What we have learned in our training is that falling down and getting back up is a part of recovery. No judgment zone. I know that's kind of an oxymoron for me to say with the black robe on, right? No judgment zone. But here's the thing. I judge on the law, but with respect to getting you on track and keeping you on a path of recovery, I understand. No judgment zone. You fall, you get back up, and then we reassess, we reshuffle the deck, and then we keep moving. It doesn't mean that you won't have to face consequences. You will, but we're not
I know.
giving up on you. And Miss Sykes, if you don't know that by now, I don't know what we can do to convince you. I mean,
I
we've been
do
holding the
know.
light on for you for a long time.
I know that's why I called him. I knew I had to come back. I just didn't know what I was gonna say then, cause you know how Mr. Griffin is. He so, you know how he is.
He's
I
so
didn't
nice.
even. Yeah, just like you want him to yell and scream so you can feel better, but he be looking so sad, and I didn't want to tell him. I just didn't want to do that to him.
Let me tell you this, the next time you think that way, I want you to
Come here.
remember, Mr. Griffin gets paid to look sad. He gets paid to get his feelings hurt. He gets paid to do all the stuff that you think Mr. Griffin's gonna do. He gets paid to do it, okay? And guess
Oh,
what? Mr. Griffin don't share none of that money with us. He don't share it with you. He don't share it with me. He don't share it with none of us. So don't worry
but
about Mr. Griffin's feelings. Mr. Griffin will be all right. But what Mr. Griffin is expressing to you, I want you to look beyond the outer. What he's expressing when he looks sad is, Miss Sykes, I know you can do this, but I don't know that you know you can do it. And I need you to get up and fight with me. Yeah. That's what
yeah,
that sad look is for, because he believes you can do it. He wants you to do it. He cares about you.
I know. I know he
All
do.
right. So let's
Mm,
get back on track. I'm gonna
okay.
follow Mr. Griffin's recommendation. I'd like to take this back to the team with respect to sanction, because she's on a good path and I need her to stay on a good path. Sending her to jail right now is not going to make any sense. But this is what I do want to know. Who you keep trying to bring cigarettes to?
Huh?
Busted. Let me tell you something.
That okay? So, but listen, that was Lawrence. See,
You see my eye?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't ask
o-
questions that I don't already know the answer to, Miss Sykes.
Okay, he an alcoholic, and I can't help him. I don't know how to help him, so I just
So let
wanted
me
him
tell you what's
comfortable.
not gonna help him. Let me tell you what's not gonna help him. Bringing them cigarettes. Right now, you are working on you, and I need you to be your number one priority. Not trying to gallivant to an environment where people are abusing substances, because it puts you at risk, Miss Sykes.
No,
And
I
then
was gonna DoorDash the
Miss
cigarettes. I wasn't
Sykes,
going.
Miss
Yeah,
Sykes, and then Mr. Griffin gonna look sad, since you so worried about Mr. Griffin looking sad.
I didn't tell Mr. Griffin. She
Just like
told him.
Miss Sykes, just like he
Yeah,
figures out how to get his alcohol, let him figure out how to get his cigarettes. I know that sounds mean, but I mean it with everything in me. Let him figure out how to get his cigarettes. Don't you go putting
mm,
yourself, your resources, your thoughts into a place where it could pull you down or pull you backwards. Because when you go to jail, he gonna still be out there, and he gonna find another Edwina Sykes to get him some cigarettes. I
I
promise you, he
think he
will.
found one. I think he done
All right,
already
then
did
get
that.
over it. Come on, keep it
Yeah,
moving. Move on. All
that's what
right,
I'm
Miss
doing
Sykes.
now.
Mr. Griffin, I
Mm.
shocked her. Did you see that face? She didn't even have a comeback right away. She had to think about that one. Like, how to
Yeah, she
judge
couldn't
me
even
about
respond. That's the first time I saw her with a loss of words.
Man, I don't never be at a loss of words.
never. All right. So, Miss Drew, this is what I'm going to do. Mr. Ficus,
Okay.
are you all recommending that the warrants be set aside?
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
on those two matters, I'm going to set aside her warrants. I'm
Okay.
gonna give it one more shot.
Thank you,
I'm
Judge.
gonna hold off on sanctioning until staffing. And then, Mr. Griffin, what would be the return to court date for Ms. Sykes?
I'm gonna put her back on Friday, Your Honor. She was part of that docket, so January the 8th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Okay, very good. At 9:00 a.m. And that will be in our virtual courtroom. All right. And so, Mr. Griffin, I need you, and I know you've done this, connect with the people at Positive Images. I need to know what's her regimen, because I
Okay.
don't want Ms. Sykes out there just gallivanting around. Let's get a solid plan together for Ms. Sykes and have her work it, because hopefully, I believe she is in a place of wanting to work it.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Sykes, I want you to enjoy your holidays and be safe, be sober, be on a
I
path of
am.
recovery. Take
I
care of
am.
you first. You first. I give you permission to be selfish in this regard, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Good to see you. Take care.
All right.
All right.
I don't
Bye.
know how
I'll
to
talk to you
turn
in
this
I'll
off,
talk to you in a
though.
little bit, Miss Sykes. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Hey, how
right.
you turn it off?
I'll remove you.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Sykes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's do Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett got an earful. Come on, Miss Bennett. You know, Miss Bennett, I need you to work with me, Miss Bennett, Miss Bennett, Miss Bennett. You're gonna drive me nuts. No contact with the police. I know they talked to you in that breakout room. Somebody give me a case number for Miss Bennett.
Hold on, Your Honor. Let me pull her case up. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. This is case 20 G as in girl, C as in cat, 01282, Latasha Bennett.
All right, and so, give me 1 second. All right, Miss Bennett, state your name for the record.
Latasha Bennett.
All right, Miss Bennett, you're in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom?
Yes.
All right, very good. Now I remember, Mr. Griffin, it's refreshed my memory. She's a transfer case.
Yes,
And
Your
when
Honor.
Mr. Griffin told me you picked up a ticket, you had contact with the police, you know what I said? Send her back to wherever she came from and let them deal with her. I'm not doing it. That was my first, Mr. Griffin, that was my first response.
Yes, it was, Your Honor.
If she gonna come here and still have contact with the law, go back to where you came from and let them deal with you how they're gonna deal with you. Send you to jail, take your money and send you to jail. But while you're with us, Ms. Bennett, you must do everything in your power to be a law-abiding citizen. We expect it. We expect it. You didn't get here overnight, and you're not gonna get it fixed overnight. You have to find, and I don't want to hear nothing about the facts. Does not go to the facts of her case. That's outstanding. You didn't get here overnight. You won't get out of it overnight, but you have to find other ways to get around. Lyft, Uber, walk, catch the bus, take a taxi. I know drug treatment court is about sacrifice. We do the things that we have to do in order to achieve favorable goals. And if your favorable goal is to stay out of jail and to complete the program and to live a life of recovery, then you need to make every sacrifice that gets you to that goal. Now, if your goal is to go to jail, just do your time, keep doing what you're doing. I promise you, you're going to unwrap that gift and it's going to be exactly what you're looking for.
Not jail.
Help you. I'd rather help you. I'd rather help you. That's always my goal. That everybody that comes through this court, that we make a difference in their lives and we help them But now if you tie my hands, that's fine. We can do it that way too. All right, who went in that breakout room with Miss Bennett?
I did, Your Honor, if I
Mr.
may.
Reed, what you want to tell me?
Judge, not talking about any of the facts of this ticket, my client does admit contact with law enforcement.
Yes.
She is very new to the program. I believe that she has been in drug treatment court less than a month. I, I hope I'm not wrong.
A week.
Mr. Griffin,
She
are
just
you her
signed her,
case manager
yeah,
One week.
she signed her contract on the 14th.
of December?
Yeah, she just
So
came into the program.
less than 2 weeks she's been in the program. Um, I would hope that she has done everything that we've asked so far as drug testing and meetings and counseling. And I can't verify that, but I hope she's gotten off to a good start. But drug treatment court, as I've said in many cases, is more than clean and sober. It's a life changing, behavior changing patterns that we're trying to do in contact with law enforcement. When you're ordered not to have contact with law enforcement, is a violation of your drug treatment court agreement. But Judge, she is relatively new. She's 2 weeks into the program, or less than 2 weeks into the program. I did lecture her. I did warn her. Um, I'm not recommending any sanction. I'm recommending the verbal warning at this point, assuming that she has gotten off to a good start and she is doing her drug testing and her testing is negative and she's doing her meetings and she's doing her counseling. Um, I'm just recommending a verbal warning, Your Honor, and hoping that she understands how serious it is to follow the court's orders. And as I said, it's not just clean and sober, changing your lifestyle, changing your pattern of behavior. She does acknowledge, Your Honor, contact, and she accepts responsibility. She was remorseful and she was respectful.
All right, thank you, Mr. Reed. And Mr. Griffin, you serve as Ms. Bennett's case manager.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wanted to tell me?
Yeah, I would just like to say one thing about Miss Bennett. She did call me. She didn't try to hide or anything. She called me when it happened. So I'll give her credit for because we have people that think that these cases is going to go away or something, that we're not going to find out about it and things like that. So at least she was honest. She did call me and it's like, and she was terrified, and so I just, try to explain to her that, it's no shortcuts or anything in drug treatment court. You got to work the program and she would need to get the restricted license through our court. And then she, like Mr. Reed said, and you said, Your Honor, it's not a conviction or anything, but, she's handicapping herself either worse to be eligible for a restricted license. So she has been tested, no problem with testing. She had an appointment date for her outpatient treatment with grief counseling. I could let her tell you more about that. I don't know if it happened already or not, but she did have an appointment set up for that. So besides was not trying to make that a small thing, that she picked up a new ticket. Other than that, she's been doing what she's supposed to do. You held the meetings off. You wanted her to get into the treatment and grief counseling to start off with, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Griffin. All right, Miss Bennett.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you having problems getting to your testing or anything of that nature?
I was taking myself.
Okay. Do you have somebody that can help you to get there?
I can't depend on like everybody, but I could just try to catch the bus.
Okay. There's nobody.
Because I don't want to depend on nobody and then I'll be late for work or late for this. I just have to catch the bus.
Okay. Well, I know you may not want to depend on anyone, but right now you're between a rock and a hard place with respect to your ability to drive, okay? You cannot drive. And so maybe you can make some arrangements with someone to help you during this process until you get to a place where you are able to drive. just ask. I know that sometimes that can be difficult when we've made a mess. And sometimes people look at us, well, you're in that situation because you made this mess, figure it out. And we don't want to hear that. But what I'm going to challenge you to do is to humble yourself. You need the help. And humility is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It is. It's hard because nobody likes to eat crow, including me. Mr. Reed makes me eat crow often. I don't like
Okay.
to, but but I have to. But you have to humble yourself because you need the help. You need the help. And that's better than going to jail. That's better than, I mean, jail is a nasty place. That's better than going to jail. And I say that nasty, not saying they don't, the facility is nasty. I'm saying just the whole concept of being locked down, to me, it's nasty. I didn't like to get sent to my room. So, and then if you close the door, that was just it for me. Okay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, so you're kind of in a bad place. So humble yourself and ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. I know that's difficult. You might have even burned some bridges, but look, have that conversation. I need your help right now. And I'm in the fight of my life. Not only am I trying to stay sober, I'm trying to get on a path of recovery. And in doing that, I have an outstanding matter that's drinking and driving related. And so I can't get behind the wheel of a car right now. It won't last forever. But every time you get behind the wheel of a car, you are making it so that either you're going to jail or it's going to take you that much longer to get a license and you're going to jail. That's really your options right now. So look, I had a conversation, attorneys, with Mr. Griffin when you all were in the breakout rooms with your clients. And I said, I have to give her a heavy sanction because I need to get her attention. I don't think that jail is the appropriate answer. So this is and I asked that question. I don't even know what made me ask that question about who could help her. So this is what I want you to do. This is going to be your sanction. You are going to write down for me how you are going and who you are going to seek help from to get you to the places that you need to go while you are working this program. I want to know who they are.
Okay.
I want to know who they are. I want you need a pen and paper because you need to take notes. Well, Mr. Griffin, you take notes and then you can
I'm
circle back.
already taking them.
All right, wonderful. I need to know who they are. I need to know the date you contacted them. I need to know their response. And I need you to do that until you get your yes. So don't come back to me saying, I contacted one person and they said no, and that's it. Nope, you're going to move on to the next person.
I don't have that many friends and stuff like that. And my sister, she works as well. So like I said,
Yeah. We all
the
have
bus.
it. We
Yes,
all
it's
have it. This is going to require you to think. You're going to have to think beyond your quick right-hand people. Yes, ma'am. It's a sanction. It's supposed to be difficult and challenging. I mean, unless you want to go to jail, because that's what me and Mr. Griffin talked about, jail in abeyance. So then the next time they catch you driving, you just go right to jail. You don't even have to see me.
I'm not gonna drive, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna drive. I'd rather catch the bus.
Okay. Like I said, this is your sanction. Who did
Okay.
you contact? The date you contacted them? What was their response? And here's the last part of it. What's your plan? What's your plan?
To get through this program.
Nope. What's your plan with getting to where you need to go?
To humble myself.
No, I'm
And
talking about with respect to those calls. So if you call somebody and they say, yes, I can do it on Mondays only, and then you call somebody else and they say, I can help you out on Tuesdays and Fridays, your plan to me is going to be, Judge, on Mondays, this person is going to get me, if my color drops, or get me to intensive outpatient treatment and work on Tuesdays and Fridays, it's going to be this person. And then all the other days, I'm catching the bus. I bought me a bus pass. I did this. I realized I've got to catch the 8-mile bus at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to where, I'm just giving examples, to get to
I
where
know.
I'm going on time. And then I found out that that bus, in order to get home, I have to catch the 6 o'clock bus. I've got to be out there. And then that's your plan. I want to know your plan. Yeah, it's a sanction. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikes, y'all have a different sanction you want to recommend?
As long as it's not jail, I have no objections, Judge.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Griffin?
Oh, Your Honor, to that, I mean, I think that's very creative, you know, to get her to thinking and, you know, build some structure and things like that. So I agree with the sanction, Your Honor.
All right, and so Mr. Griffin, circle back to her, because let her know she can't flim-flam me. That's not gonna work. Not
Okay, Your
gonna
Honor.
work. All right, very good. Any other questions for me? Ms. Bennett?
No, ma'am.
questions?
No,
All right.
ma'am.
When do you have Ms. Bennett return in the court, Mr. Griffin?
I'm gonna do January the 7th, Your Honor.
January 7th,
Yep, at 9,
2020?
yep,
At
21 at 9
o'clock.
a.m. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. But you'll be in touch with and still doing face-to-face with her before that date, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I'll be talking with her weekly.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, Ms. Bennett, I'm counting on you to do the right thing and to get me my assignment. It's due when you come back to see me in the virtual courtroom on January 7th.
Thank you.
All right, very
Happy
good. No
holidays.
driving, no driving, Ms.
driving.
Bennett, no driving.
No.
All right, very
you.
good. Happy
Thank you. Happy
holidays to you
holidays.
Same to
too.
you as well.
Be safe.
Happy
All right,
holidays.
very good. All right, is there anything else that we need to go over on this morning?
Those were my matters.
No, Judge.
Gotta leave now?
Yes, ma'am.